Steve Moran here, and I am with Russell Rush, the creator of the R3 R1 sales system. And this is part of our series of a tip a day for a month. And today we are going to talk about unspoken objectives. So there are really two types of not objectives, but objections. And there are two types of objections, right? There are ones that are spoken and ones that are not. The ones that are spoken are probably easier to deal with, but what about those ones that are below the surface? How do you deal with those ones that people won't talk about or afraid to talk about or sit even in the subconscious?
Well, this is the point. The majority of objections that seniors and their influencers have when they come and look at a retirement community are unspoken. We're not that open. We're thinking things, but we're not saying them. And the key crucial objections that the senior and their influencer have are unspoken objections. So if we don't address these unspoken objections, they'll come in, they'll look at the community, they'll leave, they'll say, I'm not ready, we're not ready, we need time to think about it. But what that means, Steve, is they're not buying. They're either going to put off the decision, which is the same as not buying, or they're just not going to buy altogether. They're going to go home and just do nothing. And so we know as senior living salespeople, we understand what a lot of the motivators and objections of our potential residents and their influencers are. We understand what their prior commitments are, such as, I want to stay in my home for the rest of my life until I die. I want to be isolated. I don't want to be around other people. I don't want anybody to tell me what to do, and I don't want to spend any money. Those are 4 prior commitments or unspoken objections we know the senior and their influencer have. And so it's crucial that we prepare certain presentations or statements in order to break down those unspoken objections in just an informal fashion so that they're more likely to see things our way and move mom or dad or mom and dad into the community so they'll have a better outcome.
So can you give me an example?
Absolutely. So one of the big objections that a lot of ladies in particular have, mature women, is they've lived their whole life having somebody tell them what to do. Their mom and dad told them what to do. Their teachers told them what to do. Their boss told them what to do. Their husband told them what to do. Now their kids are telling them what to do. That's why they're there. Their kids drug them in. So this is something that's on the senior's mind. And so one of the ways, and this is a very aggressive way of doing this, but one of the ways I disarm the lady is I'll say, you know, many people are concerned about rules that they're going to encounter when they move into a community because at home you don't have any rules, right? She's going to say, yeah, I'm very concerned about rules. Our community only has 3 rules. Would you like to hear what they are? And the lady says, sure. We said, we'd like you not to walk in the halls naked with a gun smoking. Now she starts laughing because that's outrageous, isn't it? She's not going to walk around naked with a gun and smoke, is she? Most of the time. Now, let's say she's a smoker and she says, I do smoke. Well, you'd have to smoke outside, okay? Well, I could live with that. I smoke outside at home. But most people don't smoke, most elderly senior women. And so by doing that, what I've done is I've disarmed an unspoken objection. She typically would come in the community, the senior sales professional would show her around the community and never even bring up the fact that she's concerned about rules. And that concern would keep her from moving into the community. But by me using that technique, I've disarmed her and answered a key unspoken objection that was keeping her from moving in.
So do you have a list of how many common unspoken objections there are? And do you
well, there's 4 big ones. There's 4 big ones that I mentioned already. Those are the 4 big ones, but there's a number of other unspoken objections. Like, for example, the size of the apartment. They're used to living in a house. There's a number of unspoken objections. Meal times being at set times. I mean, there's so many potential unspoken objections. And what I've done over the years, because I've been doing this for a long time, successfully, very successfully, is I have developed a way when I'm talking with them, just in regular conversation, I'm answering all those unspoken objections. And by the time I get done with my presentation, I say, do you have any other questions or concerns? They say, no, you answered all of them. Because I did. I preemptively answered all their unspoken objections throughout my presentation. Little mini presentations where I'm addressing them. And the most important part about it, Steve, they don't even know I'm doing it. They just think I'm having a conversation with them.
Right. So really the big tip here is really to think about what those unspoken objections are. Maybe sit down in your office and make a list of them and how you would respond to them, and then start peppering those into your sales presentation. That is
absolutely
really, really cool.
Don't wait for them to ask the question. They never will. And these are the silent killers of sales. This is what's stopping the majority of potential residents from moving in.
Russell, great tip. This has been one of my very favorite. I appreciate that, and I look forward to tomorrow's tip.
Me too.